In this chapter, we're going to cover off min, max, as well as large and small functions. And these are all very powerful tools for performing analysis. So first of all, let's just type here min, max, and then I'm going to leave a space and put small, large. So these can be very powerful ways to analyze data. So the first thing I want to do is type in min, and I want to take the minimum of all of the expenses that I've laid out here. I want to find out what's the minimum expense line on the income statement. And I see here that it's 1,000. And then I'm also going to type here max and scroll up to the expense lines and select each line of expenses, and I can see that the max is 67. So I can copy these across and see how they change over time. So the minimum is not changing. It's the interest expense, which is fixed, and then the maximum. If I scroll up here, I can see that it is cost of goods sold. So that's all well and good and fairly straightforward. But a lot of times it's helpful to say what is the second largest or second smallest or third largest, third smallest. So we can use the small and large functions. And what I'm going to do here is just type two numbers that will be our inputs. And I'm going to change them to be blue colored. So Alt-H, FC, and then select that blue there. And what I'm going to do then is in this function, I'm going to say equals small. I'm going to select the expenses in the same way that I did with the min and max functions, except this time I'm going to add a comma, and I'm going to select an absolute reference, locking with 8.4, to this cell here. So in this case, it's picking the very smallest one, which is the same as the min. So in this case, there's no difference. But what happens if I want to see the second smallest, or third smallest, fourth smallest, fifth smallest, etc.? So here you can see that this is actually, small and large are actually much more interesting and powerful functions than min and max, and they can be used as min and max functions if you use one in the place of the ranking of smallest or largest. So this is a great tool, and let's link up large as well. So we're just going to link up to the same area as before, all the expense lines, and then we're going to add a comma, and we're going to select this cell here, C54, as an absolute reference by pressing F4, and then close bracket. So again, this is the same as the max function. You can see that these two numbers are equal to each other. But then I can see what the second largest expense is. And if I scroll up, it looks to be accurate that taxes are the second largest expense. And then the third largest, I can see that right here as being SG&A. So a very powerful tool here if I want to take, say, the second smallest and the second largest. And what I'm going to do is copy and then paste some formatting down here. And I'm going to fill this to the right. So now I've got a very dynamic piece of analysis where I can rank first, second, third, largest, and smallest. And we're going to find this very useful later on in our sensitivity analysis. So the min and max are certainly useful. And if you know you're only going to ever want to look at the minimum or maximum in a range, then I suggest using those. But if you want to be more dynamic, I suggest using small or large, pretty much, always even in replace of min and max, because as I pointed out, you can actually just put a 1 there and it's the same as min and max.